is how we hear Brandon Heath's song Love Never Fails, known as Love Never Fails You on SongSelect. He seems to do this weird shape in the beginning, which, by the way, I got his fingering style from watching a video where he plays it live, and I believe this is what he's doing. Might not be exact, but it's sort of like the E shape if you moved it up. So instead of, this would be the E shape. Almost everyone knows how to play that, you know, you've got, but then you move it up a half step, and then you move everything, that whole shape up by one string. So then it should be, so the first string, the low E, is going to be on the A flat, and then the fifth string will be on D flat, and then the the fourth string will be on an F, and then the next string is open, and then the second string is going to be held down by your index finger, and then you have an E. What I hear him do is he finger picks the bass note and then sort of does like a hammer off or a hammer on, whatever, of the B string, and then lift your middle finger. So again it goes. That's what I see the intro as. So it goes. You should be able to pull this off. All the chords are pretty much the same, except for the intro chords. This interesting chord shape here. And that's the only thing that's different. And then it seems like when the chord chart calls for a D, you just sort of move that shape down. And this is what I saw him do again in that live video. He seems to go between the C here to D. So sort of like where he goes, love never fails you. So interesting chords. I don't even know what they're called, but those are the only differences that I see. When the chord chart calls for a G, it seems to be this weird sort of shape here, because that's what the song starts with. And then again for the D over here. Every other chord seems to be the same, starting from like the D over F sharp, where the verse kind of goes like a. All I was doing there, it just seems like he just sort of plays like a G, A flat, and then a C on the second string. So it would be and everything else is open. So again, this D over F sharp. The verse goes like. So remember, the D shape is always going to be like this, which is just bringing it down a whole step from the original shape that you learned at the beginning. So whenever you see the D chord in that chart, that's what we're playing. So then when he says, never fails you, and it makes it really easy, because then as long as you can get that shape for the D, then you can bring it back up for the intro. And you don't have to sort of fumble with getting that weird fingering. Because for me, whenever it's like a new chord and I just don't have the muscle memory for it yet, I have to fumble with trying to find it. But if there's a way to slide into something or to sort of make it a little bit easier, that helps a lot. So instead of doing love never fails you, I mean, I sort of managed to pull it off. I was still muting some strings. So the easiest thing for me is to just sort of love never fails you. because that way I put the hard work of getting to that new shaping on a part that's not so complicated to sing, because you need to go right into that intro as you're singing the word you. So there's stuff happening that if you can make it a little bit less complicated, it's easier. So then it goes, love never fails you. And vocally, you could just keep that note going, and it's not as hard to sort of change and play like a lead lick like that while you're holding down the same note. It's a little easier to do that than it is to be singing something different as you're trying to find a different shape. You can rely on muscle memory a little bit more. All right.